Welcome to the Swell Suite, everybody. Happy MLK Day. Hey, Glennis.
Hey, happy MLK Day to everyone and to you and to all that did service today.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big march on the mall today.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of different colleagues of mine down there through Blacks in Government and some classmates as well. So,
yeah,
But I was kind of iced in.
Oh no, same. Yeah, I'm glad the weather, was good enough for them to take the stroll, though.
Exactly. It was windy. Yeah. It was windy out there.
Well, we have a really special guest today, and she's going to make our lives a little more exciting. So, so we have Sarah from Galen Glen. She's a winemaker. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's my privilege to be with you both.
Of course, of course. Oh man, are you in your tasting room?
I am in our tasting room.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay. Oh, wait. So do you live on the property?
Yes. I do live on the property.
Oh man.
Good and bad.
Wow. Nice. Because I'm looking at your background. I'm like, wow, bubbly blanc and bubbly rosé. Those would be awfully tasty right about now.
Yes, they are.
So Sarah, introduce yourself to everybody and tell everybody what you do.
I'm Sarah. I'm from Galen Glen Winery, and we're in Andreas, Pennsylvania, which is just about an hour and a half north of Philadelphia. We're a small family farm winery. We have about 20 acres of vines and produce about 6,500 cases of wine. I'm our winemaker. My husband is he oversees everything, and our daughter is our wine grower. So we work all together, and I live at the winery.
So I met Sarah initially a few years ago during a Pennsylvania wine tour. And I don't remember if you were the first or second stop, but all I remember is we can stop here. This wine is so good. This is like the best Riesling I've ever had. This is my first time having Pennsylvania wine altogether. And I was so impressed. Your wines were spectacular. Oh my gosh. And then I had some sort of Riesling in one of your caves. Oh my God, their Riesling was so good. So kudos to you. You guys do great work. Your wine is delicious.
Thank you. That's really kind of you.
So do you grow a lot of different varietals, or do you just specialize like in Riesling, or which grapes do you?
What do we grow? So we grow, let's see if it's a test, if I can name all 10. We grow Riesling. Yeah, we have a diverse portfolio. So we go Riesling, Gruner Veltliner, Gewürztraminer. Then we also have a little bit of Vidal and Cayuga. In reds, we have Cabernet Franc, Cabernet d'Orsa, Zweigelt, Blaufränkisch, and Chambourcin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So a lot of German grapes.
German, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
We specialize in the Germanic varieties, correct.
Oh, excellent. And do you do single varietal? So out of all 10, do you bottle all them 100% of those grapes, or do you use some of those just for blending?
Some are used just for blending. Yeah, we don't bottle them all varietally. So for example, Zweigelt and Cabernet d'Orsa go together in a red blend called Red German Bastards.
Red German Bastards. Oh, nice.
I know. So we planted our third Red German Bastard last spring of last year. But the name refers to when our daughter came back after about 10 years away. I'd say, oh, where are you headed in the vineyard? What are you doing today? I'm going to work on those Red German Bastards you and Dad planted. Well, I was in Europe. Why did you ever plant them? I'm like, oh, so you don't like them. They're very challenging to grow. You've seen leaves on grapevines. Well, the leaves on these are about the size of a dinner plate. They're immense. So there's removal challenges. They're twisty. they require some extra effort. So when we were thinking about the wine, I said, I think I'm going to name it that. And she said, no, that'll never get through the TTB. Approved. So that's the wine. So we have bottled Zweigelt as a varietal, and we also have done it in a rosé, but now this wine has become very popular. So I don't know. You never know what the future brings. Always in the cellar, there's something exciting to figure out.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit of like the story of like how you even got into wine and why German was the style that you guys went with.
So my husband worked for a company based in Germany, and we traveled to Germany, but not to the most beautiful wine growing regions, but to a region that's kind of similar to here, rolling hills. And everyone thinks that that's what inspired us. No, his best friend got married and sent us wine from Hawaii. So this is back in the 90s, and it turns out it wasn't pineapple wine, but it was white wine. And I said, hey, wait a minute. If there's wine in Hawaii and your family farm, which is where our winery is based, it looks like the part of Germany we had just traveled to. So kind of putting those two things together, we were inspired to start the winery. So our winery is on his family property. It's in the family from the late 1830s, but the winery is new. It's only here since 1995. So that's what's got us started, a little trip to Germany, and of course, the wine from Hawaii, which was not pineapple.
That's awesome. So what did you guys plant first?
We actually planted Chambourcin. Some of those vines are still here today. And also, yeah, they were very old, and I don't know how much longer they'll be with us because they're about the end of their life expectancy. So Chambourcin and Steuben. The Steuben are gone. Those have been ripped out. But since then, we've changed around a lot what we grow. And with Erin as our wine grower, we've really changed what we grow. In her new plantings, she's planted more Gruner, more Cabernet Franc, Blaufränkisch. So she's really shifting what we grow. We're mostly vinifera now, but we still have some of our older hybrid plantings with us.
Very interesting. And so what did you do before you became a winemaker?
So I was actually a pharmaceutical chemist doing liquid drug packaging. Yeah. So everybody knows about liquid drugs right now because of COVID. So the company I work for has the world market for packaging of liquid drugs. So obviously vaccines are a big part of their portfolio, but that's what I did. And that chemistry, it's liquid chemistry, similar to wine, but I didn't have any winemaking background prior to starting here.
Interesting. So did your daughter go to school?
Oh, yes.
Specifically for okay.
Yeah, she has 2 degrees from Cornell, and then her master's is from Montpellier in France.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, she's much more educated, much more traveled, has been and done a lot of fun stuff. So hopefully you will get to meet her. She's always wine all the time. And likes to, people ask, well, she helps in the cellar, particularly with blending and sort of transitioning our style, but she's outside. So even in this cold, wintry, awful, dreadful weather, she's outside pruning. And so she likes to be outside.
Wow. So about this time in the winter, so what goes on in the cellar right now?
In the cellar, not a lot because we don't bottle. Let's backtrack. I don't rack or move our wines. They're put into a tank at harvest, and they're going to stay there until we're ready to start blending and bottling. So not a whole lot's happening in the cellar. We'll start to taste through and grade our wines. Maybe we've tasted them all, but we'll start to get really serious about it end of January, early February, and start to, like for Gruner, for example, we have multiple vineyards of Gruner, multiple clones. So we'll look at each of those tanks and decide which ones will become each of the different parts of our collection of Gruner Veltliner, where they fall in the portfolio. So the cellar's pretty quiet right now. The vineyard's in full swing as we're pruning. Eventually we'll be tying down and getting ready for the start of the new season. But once the cellar starts, it doesn't stop. So once we start blending and filtering, then it's time to bottle, and it kind of like all flows together.
Interesting. You said that once you put your must into the tanks, they stay there. Now, when you say
there, yep.
Yeah, so when you say your tanks, are any of your wines aged in oak at all? Or
no, we're mostly stainless. We have some of the, if you're familiar with the Australian flex tanks, they're a tank that is similar to a 2-year-old barrel, and we use pieces of barrel in those for oak. We're with Erin now with us. She'd like to transition to some barrels. So I'm pretty sure that's coming in our future, if not this year, for sure next year, that we start a barrel program and do some interesting things with barrels. So yeah, that's coming. Good question.
What makes you nervous right now? I know frost is something to fear. Is there a way that you guys are avoiding that? Do you have the big fans in the vines? How are you guys avoiding frost right now? It's really cold.
It's really cold. So right now it's temperature, and there's really not a whole lot you can do. Hopefully you've been to our site, so you've seen it's very sloped. So air is, even though it's a gas, it also moves like a liquid. So it flows off our vineyards and down to the lower valleys. So hopefully we don't get too cold, maybe not below 0, and we don't get any big driving winds. There's not a whole lot we can do this time of year. If we get a big cold snap, that, something that slips down from Canada and heads all the way to DC, we're going to get that. Hopefully it stays away.
Anything else you have to be concerned about during this time?
Well,
any other challenges?
Ice is not a good thing. That can hurt the vines, but mostly this time of year, we're worried about really cold temperatures. We're not looking forward to any of those happening. And with global warming, it's so unpredictable. It's warm, it's cold, it's hot, it's dry, it's windy, it's, it's everything. But so far this winter is off to what I would consider a very normal start. So that's good.
What is your favorite part about being a winemaker, and what is your least favorite part?
My favorite part is sensory. I love smell. I'm like taking a dog somewhere because I'm always sniffing, smelling everything. I'm always, it's true. I smell everything. And I don't like fake scents. I don't like anything scented at all. Soap, shampoo, nothing. I like sensory. So for winemaking, the smell part is my absolute favorite part, and figuring out how to blend and make the most with what's come from our vineyard into a wine that when you put it in your glass, it just explodes with aroma. That's what I love. What do I hate? The paperwork. In fact, I'm doing it now. Yuck. There's no fun in all the paperwork that goes with being a winemaker. It's so boring and dreadful.
So where does all the paperwork go?
So there's federal paperwork, there's state paperwork, there's sales tax paperwork. There's just a paperwork trail that's honestly, boring. I mean, every job has some form of paperwork. For winemaking, we're a controlled substance. So how much wine did you make? Is it in, where is it? Is it done fermenting? Can you declare it as wine, or is it still fermenting? And then when do you pay the tax and all of that sort of stuff? So it's not any fun. It's just a necessary. And at the end of the year, we kind of reconcile everything. So we're mostly through all of that. So that's paperwork too. So not fun. I'd much rather smell things, anything, stinky things, anything but paperwork. Paper has not very much smell.
Yeah, because Pennsylvania is notorious for its different wine and liquor laws. So
oh yes,
can imagine.
We have. Yes, they're not only federal but state as well. Yeah. They're unpleasant, but part of being in Pennsylvania.
How have you guys been doing during the pandemic? Has that affected you at all?
Well, in Pennsylvania, we've had a lot of rule changes. So our tasting room, I now say I need a map to know what is where, because our bar has been changed. tables, chairs, like everything has been rearranged and shuffled. I can't, at one point we did takeout out of windows. I mean, well, you know, we couldn't have people. So I feel like we now, because everyone comes here with different expectations, we now have ways to offer you multiple experiences depending on how you feel about COVID. So I feel like that's kind of been settled in. The hardest part, we have a lot of restaurant partners. So that was really hard to watch as they closed or went to takeout or couldn't, we're in Pennsylvania, so they couldn't sell wine. There were just all these crazy things that happened. So now a lot of them are back and strong and doing really well. So that's been exciting to watch them rebound, and some of them have reinvented. So that's been really, really nice to help and watch and support that. So yeah, COVID is here.
So the state did not adapt or adjust a little bit during this COVID time for like restaurants, and I guess more to say like restaurants, because in Maryland, I know restaurants they had takeout. So beer and wine could be takeout as well. So did Pennsylvania not allow anything like that? Was it just food, or did these restaurants just, you know, close because of volume? You know, they didn't get as much traffic to them.
It's probably a combination. And for takeout, you had to have a special license. And well, how do you get a license during COVID? You can't. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of them, they did allow to go mixed drinks. So there was the clever ones and the creative ones made it work. And, you know, most of our partners are back and stronger than ever because they figured out how to, just like we did, how to adapt, as challenging as it was. Yeah. So it's life now.
For those who don't know or have never had Pennsylvania wine, what can you tell them about Pennsylvania wine?
Pennsylvania is diverse. So I don't think Pennsylvania it's a big state. So I don't think one wine can sum up Pennsylvania. So I think if I was a guest visiting Pennsylvania, I'd look to wherever I was visiting to kind of guide them. We're a little cooler location, so we specialize in aromatic whites, cool climate reds. South of us, it's a little warmer. So you're gonna have bolder whites, maybe some of the Bordeaux varieties, and bigger reds. But I think Pennsylvania right now, if you maybe say one word, diversity, because it's a big state and there's lots of different regions. And we're a young wine growing state too. So we're trying to figure out what works. And as we explore that, there's a lot of fun diversity.
Excellent. Excellent. So we just have a handful of closeout questions. They're pretty fun.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I like fun.
So it's only 5. And the last one is just for you, but we'll answer all of them together. Okay. First question.
Okay.
What is your favorite small talk topic?
Well, this is not going to come as a shock. I like to ask people, what wine region do you like to drink from?
Oh, nice.
And yeah, because I want to hear, where do you like, and you can name anywhere in the world. So where do you know, what wine region? And, you know, I don't drink just our wine. I drink a lot of other wines. So I just had this conversation with a restaurateur, and it was really fun to hear, like, he liked very different wines. And that's a way to learn. And also my favorite topic, wine.
Wow. Liz, what about you?
I think mine kind of rolls into the other. So I think it starts off with travel. And my travel rolls into, somehow it goes back to wine because I did a lot of traveling to wine regions. So so travel. It's the start of my small talk.
Yeah. You know, when I worked in the tasting room, my small talk always started with the weather. And I mean, that's an easy one. And so weather can also turn into travel, which turns into wine. And then mine always ends with food. So once we talk food, then I'm a happy camper. I've got you in the palm of my hand. So yeah. Yeah.
Who doesn't love food? Food, wine, and travel, the three essentials.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See,
yep.
My food talk would be short.
Okay. When was the last time you said, I don't know what I'm doing?
Right before I got on here, my husband's like, so we're going to put a bathroom faucet in. I'm like, what? You realize I have to be at this thing? Well, open up this direction and start reading. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never installed a bathroom faucet. Now you want me to read the instructions? He's an engineer, by the way. I'd like to point that out. I should not be reading the instructions, but I read the instructions and it's gorgeous. I'm like, wow, okay. 1 down, 4 to go.
Wow.
So literally right before, I don't know what I'm doing, but it worked out. I got water in a faucet.
Awesome. Glennis, what about you?
I am thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh. It must be, I can't pinpoint something that specific, but 10 to 1, it was something related to technology of some sort.
So mine was, I went back to work after a vacation on January 10th. And when I logged on, I was like, oh, I don't even know what my password is anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. I had so many emails. I was completely lost. I was like, you guys are going to have to give me a few days because I don't know what I'm doing. All right. What is your favorite type of popcorn?
There's a restaurant near us that makes truffle popcorn.
Oh,
they serve it at their bar. He's a James Beard chef, but crazy. But yeah, if you get a seat at the bar, you get truffle popcorn. So
wow.
Yeah, I've tried making my own. It's not as good as his, but this is really amazing. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite.
Oh, wow. My favorite popcorn, well, I pop my own popcorn on the stove.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
A little bit of oil, kernels.
Yep. Shake.
Shake, yep.
Yep.
Like if you put it to mine, like old Jiffy, but it's not the Jif container.
We make that too.
But I add, when you mentioned truffle, what I use is Trader Joe's has this garlic salt grind combo, which is so good seasoning. And I put that on everything. So I put that, black pepper, and I have a garlic truffle seasoning that I put and shake it. And that's my combo. That's my favorite popcorn.
Send me some right through the...
I just had a whole thing last night. I'll probably pop some tonight as well.
That sounds really good. Yeah.
To watch Bachelor.
So my favorite is probably Garrett's with the cheese and the regular mix. Oh, the cheese and the caramel mix.
Yep.
So I have to eat them together. The Chicago style. I have to eat them together.
So wait, what's this? It's
Garrett's popcorn. It comes in a big tin. And so they make all different types of popcorn, but you can get several different kinds in one tin. So I get them all mixed. So I get the caramel, the cheese, and the regular all together. And I have to eat each kind together. So that's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, that Chicago mix. Yeah. Well, you had the regular, that's a different, but the Chicago, the caramel and cheese is their classic Chicago mix, which is and it tastes so good.
It's
if
so
you
good.
Get it fresh in Chicago out of Garrett's.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sweet and savory.
Exactly. Exactly.
Fattening as hell, but it's good.
Oh, it's so good though. It's so good. And Trader Joe's had a version of that. And I got hooked on it. I don't know where it is now. I haven't seen it in a while, but they also had like a Garrett style bag popcorn. It's pretty good too.
I'm glad I don't even go down that aisle. I don't do it because I have no self-control.
It's a trial.
I don't have self-control. Let me stick with I know how many calories in the popcorn. I pop on my stove and that's it.
Okay, next question. What was your first purchase in 2022?
So it's a tie. I had to buy a new iPhone. My iPhone is really old.
Okay.
But so that's, I bought the new, it's all, and then I bought an old fashioned pipette bulb. So
okay,
high-end technology and really old squeeze like you had in chem lab, because I do a lot of my own lab analyses at the wine cellar, and my daughter is I call her my lab rat. So she said, the rat is quitting unless you get me a new 1985 pipette bulb, because that's all you know how to use because you're old. So, so from Amazon, I bought an iPhone and a pipette bulb.
Oh my God. I don't know. This in the house thing, I'm always buying something.
yes.
I would have to go in here and look to see, go on my bank account or the credit card statement and see what's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the first thing in 2022, this 19 days, I probably bought something every damn day. I don't know. So what did But another question could have been, what was the last thing delivered to my house? And that
okay, well, tell me that. Tell us that.
Christmas pajamas for next year because they were on sale at Gap. Just got them off the stoop. See how easy that was?
Very smart. Very, very smart. What were so I bought a few things at the new year. So I bought a pen, a pack of pens, because I ran out of pens working at home. And then I bought a really big thing of quinoa because I couldn't find any in the grocery store. And I bought my favorite brown rice ramen. I couldn't find that either. So I found those 3 things on Amazon and that was delivered. So yeah, not very exciting at all. But
I like the pajamas.
Yeah, right.
I had to buy matching, a set for me and a set for my mother. So I'm like, okay, there were 2 cute sets. And I was like, oh, let me get one of each for me and her.
That's such a good idea.
Get them now while they're on sale.
Yeah, it's a really good idea. And we had one of our staff do their whole family, all like extended family, I don't know, 20 of them in Christmas pajamas. It was the cutest.
Yeah.
Like I should tell her, buy them now. You gotta buy 20 pairs. Buy them now.
Yep.
Really cute. They look so cute. I saw a picture of them all. So good idea.
All right. So last question is for Sarah. If the first lady came to your house for dinner, so this question came from Blackish. So on the first episode of the new Blackish season, Michelle Obama comes to dinner at their house. So anyway, so I was wondering, if the first lady came to your house for dinner, what would you serve? What food would you serve? And which one of your wines would you pair with it?
Am I serving her? I mean, if she was coming to my house, I would serve her multiple courses.
Okay.
So I would do probably crab cakes. I make my own crab cakes, even though I can't eat them.
You can't eat them? Why not?
That's the same reaction. Everyone's like, first of all, your crab cakes are amazing and you can't eat them. I'm like, well, I'm highly allergic, so no.
Oh no, that's
but
terrible.
It's okay. No, it isn't, because my family and all of my friends intervene on my behalf and eat them all. Okay. So, yeah. So I would do crab cakes and our stone cellar Riesling. I would do little crab cakes as an appetizer, stone cellar Riesling, because I'd probably be too nervous to eat. And then I'd be like, well, I can't eat it anyway, so I'll have a glass of wine. And then I do something that I love, risotto, asparagus risotto. Oh, I love risotto. So asparagus risotto, my all-time favorite. I make risotto all the time, but that asparagus I would do with Grüner Veltliner. That would be kind of the main. And then for dessert, I think I would change it up a little bit. We have an Amish cheesemaker who does an aged goat cheese. So it's just stronger, more, it's a little dry. And I like that with Cabernet Franc. So instead of sweet for dessert, Cabernet Franc and goat cheese.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
I'm coming to your house because I like
you.
all of that.
I love to cook.
There's no liver pate. There's no duck.
No.
No.
We can do that.
No. Don't change up the menu. Don't change up the menu. That's fine. I like the way you.
Okay, we can. Please. I love to cook.
Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I love to cook.
So who do you, okay, I know that question was for you, but I have a second part to that question. So since you're allergic to the crab, most chefs taste their food before they put it together, before they serve it. So you have a taster for your crab cake?
I do, but I'm always auditioning other tasters. Okay. And I learned to make my crab cakes from a chef. So from one of my friends, she owns her own restaurant. And I'll tell you the surprise secret ingredient, which everyone's like, no, Ritz crackers.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, they're savory. They're a little salty. There's other things go in it, but yeah, whenever you see the Ritz crackers come out, I'm making crab cakes.
That makes a lot of sense because I have friends who grew up near Ocean City and their family tradition is to bread their oysters when they fry them in Ritz crackers. So now that's what I do. But yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never, I bake things in, I bake things in crab cakes in like a chicken cordon bleu that's rolled in Ritz crackers. So that makes, a little Ritz crackers, a little bread, make your own panko, roll that together. Yeah, Ritz crackers are pretty multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
I know. From wine to Ritz crackers. Wow.
There you go. So before we go, please tell everybody where they can follow you and find Galen Glen.
Well, at Galen Glen. And you can find us online on our website. Look for Galen Glen.
Is it two ends? Is it so is it two ends on Glen?
It's one. So it's my husband is Galen, Galen, and then one end for Glen, which refers to the shape of our property because our land is a glacially carved glen. So we've got vineyards at the top of a glen is like a little U. So vineyards on one side of the U, the wine cellar in the valley, and then vineyards on the other side of the U. So that's where Glen comes from. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
We really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be popping popcorn and trying to get some sweet, savory, cheesy, caramelly with a little bit of truffle on the side.
There you go. There you go.
Totally savor that right now. All that yum, yum.
Mm-hmm. Could be appetizer, dinner, dessert, all of them.
There it is. There it is.
Go.
I love it. I love it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was my privilege.
Of course.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, next time you come back to talk to us, you'll have to have your daughter with you.
Oh yeah,
that'd be fun.
She's my IT person. She actually set this up.
Oh,
I don't have a laptop, so she's like, "Here, use my IT person."
I love it. Well, you have a wonderful night.
Have a great evening. Stay warm.
You as well. It's winter. Good night.
Thanks for joining us, Swirl Suite, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're in the DC, Maryland area and you want to find Galen Glen wine, I can always find a bottle at Crescent Wine and Spirits. That's on Annapolis Road in Bowie, Maryland, and it's right next door to the Harris Teeter. So that's just an FYI. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and rate us 5 stars. Cheers.